Yo, this episode of Get Up with Josh Dohy is brought to you by nobody in particular, except for me. If you like any of the shirts you see me wearing, which I'm not going to be changing out of shirts, but I definitely made this one, you can go ahead and get them at joshdohy.com. Also, if you'd like to support me and the podcast, you can find my coffee in the description. 2 missed calls from Josh now.
How does that make you feel?
You know when you're in elementary school and they have plays or motivational speakers come in? My school got that, but we also got a choir, and that would be cool if it was a choir of boys and girls. But we got the all boys choir, and they were weird as fuck. And everyone knew it too. The whole time we were watching it, everybody would just be, what the fuck? I remember they were all older dudes, which back then older dudes was 14 to 21. So there was a bunch of dudes with glasses who were 14 to 21, all of them white, and they just stood like this. And they didn't sing normal, beautiful choir songs either. It was like a businessman's anthem, and they just sounded weird as fuck doing it. They just went, "If I was a rich man, diggle doggle doggle, doogle doggle, diggle daggle da." That was some weird shit to see as a kid. Wow, we just went through an entire journey, you and me. We got to watch me relive a really, really, really weird moment in my childhood. That was a fascinating time. I don't know if my school had normal guests come in. We had the choir, and then we had a yo-yo guy come in.
The first time I was working
Maybe that's why I like yo-yoing. I wonder why nobody else in my school picked up yo-yoing, because I didn't even pick it up back in elementary school. I think it was more of a high school thing. But still, there was a guy who came in, and he didn't have anything motivational. He was just really good at yo-yoing. So they gathered us in the auditorium just to watch him yo-yo. Wonder if I could do that now. I think I am. Ooh, interrupting cow. I'm the cow. Moo, 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 moo. Anyway, I was trying to find a way to denoise this fucking audio, and I found this tutorial by this guy. Look at this intro. What the heck is going on?
Hello and welcome to Video Revealed. I'm Colin Smith. Oh my goodness. Brand new reverb removal and noise removal tools in Adobe Premiere Pro CC 2019. Gonna blow your mind. Gonna blow your mind.
Better than he was. But back then it was 2005, maybe. So I think yo-yoing was a little bit lower quality back then. But I wonder if these days I could just rock up to an elementary school and ask the principal if I can yo-yo for the kids. Is that even how that works? Do you just walk into the place and you just say, "Hey, I'm the yo-yo guy. I want to speak to the principal." And whoever's at the front desk just goes, "Okay, I'll get the principal, but I don't remember us calling for a yo-yo guy." So the principal comes up, sits down at the front desk, and he's like, "Hey, what are you doing here?" And you just go, "I yo-yo." And he goes, "Oh, no shit?" And you're like, "Yeah, and I'm good at it." And he's like, "Oh, fuck, can you come in and do that for us?" And you're like, "Why else am I here?" And he goes, "How much money do you want?" And then you're like, "What's your budget for the shows that you bring in for the assemblies?" He goes, I don't know, what even would be a budget for that? $25,000? What do you even pay public speakers? I think they make a lot of money. Anyway, you ask for a lot of money just so that you can just yo-yo in front of everyone. That's such a life hack. You could just have fun and have people there. That's what I did at a comedy show. One time I was pretty blasted off an edible, and I had the funniest idea occur to me. Not during this comedy show that I was at, but in between shows, I wanted to get up on stage and yo-yo. I just thought that would be like the funniest thing. So I went up to the lead organizer and I just said, hey, do you think that in between shows I could just yo-yo on stage? And she went, okay. And then I just went up on stage and yo-yoed in between the shows. And like, that's really funny to me because it's just weird. It's just a guy that just stands on the stage and is just yo-yoing. That's all I was doing. I wasn't trying to be funny or anything. But anytime I would see people gossiping or even just being like, oh, what's going on? I would go, oh, who yo-yos these days, huh? Who even does that? And I just did that over and over and over again. Drinking that Heineken 00, I think. It's just single 2 zeros. I just figured that it might be 00. Made with 00 flour. Brewed in the 00 region of Neptune and Pluto. In the 00 region, it's called that because nobody can survive in it. I like the taste of Heineken. I don't know. Put it right there, I guess. Put it right there. Put them right there. Put them right there. Put them right there. Why don't you just put it right there? What's going on in my life? Well, today was a slow start. Usually I wake up and I meditate and then put on some coffee and sit down and do some journaling. But I got really quite distracted. It took me a long time to finish journaling. I think I woke up at like 10:30, which is pretty dope because I think by the time I recorded last episode, I was going to bed at like 4 and then going to wake up. Jeez, I was waking up at 2 p.m. And that's okay. That's okay if your sleep schedule is kind of falling apart. During coronavirus holidays, you can sleep and get up whenever you want, but I enjoy having some daylight hours. Just feels good to have more time in the sun. I feel a connection to the sun in a way that most people might not get. I connect to the sun in a way of like it nourishes me, and I don't think that I even need food because when I just go out and sit in the sun, I can do it all freaking day. I can watch the sun set. I can watch the sun rise.
I know exactly what hormones to secrete.
And when it's noontime, I don't even need lunch. I can just get a snack from the sun. I just sit there and I've lost a lot of weight because I'm not eating, but the sun is really nourishing me and I have like really crazy poops because I'm so dehydrated all the time but the sun is really nourishing me and I'm called a sun warrior and it's part of my life to. What am I doing? What accent is that? Okay, cool accent, everyone. Everybody comment cool accent for the cool accent guy. Hey, why don't you do another cool accent? Okay. Hi, this is my cool accent. My name is the very light and airy German man. I'm going to be taking you through my day. Where even was I? I think I was saying that I really like to have daylight hours. I got distracted just like right now. Oh yeah, I went for a run today, but like not a normal style run. Usually I get out of my house, run down the alleyway, and then there's a big street, and if I just shoot straight down that, with my legs, not with a gun. I shoot straight as in I'm going to be running. Just wanted to clarify because I look like the type of person that would shoot stuff, but I'm not. But I shoot straight down that street, and if I go far enough down the street, it takes me to the ocean. And that is just the nicest walk and run ever. You see how I threw in the word walk? It's like, does he walk it? Or does he run it? Like, is he telling us the truth when he said that he ran it? But yeah, I run it. Sometimes I walk it, but most mornings I run it. I've been staying really, really good with my running habits. So I run and I go along the beach and then back along the beach. And every time that I'm running on the beach, I think of this one time I heard a story of this one fighter, and I can't even remember his name, but he supposedly ran on the beach every morning and just running full tilt on the beach, and he would just scream, "War! War!" So when I'm running, and I look pretty normal when I'm running, I'm thinking about war. And I'm thinking about that guy running on the beach, and I feel like such a beast on the inside. I do a fun thing when I'm running sometimes, where if I have a lot of aggression in me in the morning, and guys, don't tell me that you don't got that aggression in the morning. I'm not going to take out that aggression on anyone except for myself, but man, I got that aggression sometimes. Like, I wake up and I'm like, oh God, I just wanna, I gotta crush something. And so I go out and crush that run. And during the run, I'll run myself through like really visceral imagery of me fighting like goblins and demons when I'm fighting, when I'm running, rather. Like when I'm running, in my head, I am in an all-out war, and not even a realistic war, but like a really, really, really dope fantasy war. Like the type of war you go through in like a dream, where you're a badass and you can just do anything. Like I have, like imagine I have a giant axe and I throw it into one guy's head, and then I take the axe out, step off his face, turn around, and there's a guy behind me. But I knew the whole time, I just throw another axe at that guy, and then when I get really mad, then I flex my muscles real hard, and then lightning comes out of me. It just kills all the goblins in the vicinity. So if I'm really anxious about something I have coming up in my day, or I wake up with a lot of aggression, I'll usually run myself through some medieval imagery. But today, I encountered the hill that goes from my house to the beach, and I call it the Savage Hill, and I post about it constantly. I'm kind of in a relationship with the Savage Hill. The Savage Hill is like a centerpiece for my life, like a reoccurring character. So I did the Savage Hill in an alternative manner today. Like I usually run up it full tilt, and I try and see how far I can go, and usually I can make it all the way there, unless I ate a pizza the day before. Then I definitely can't make it all the way up to the top. But I'm trying to make it a little bit more difficult for myself. Like I could do 3 runs to the top if I'm really, really, really trying. I haven't eaten a pizza in like a week. But usually I'll just do it one time at the end of a run, because the start of the run will be good enough, and then there's that uphill banger to finish that run with. And that's usually the fun. But I really wanted to have a challenge today. So I rode my bike in kind of a serpentine route down to the beach, kind of went around, and I took myself to the base of the Savage Hill, and I brought my backpack with me with my water bottle in it. And I do this thing now where I take the backpack and I shift it to the front, ultimately defeating the purpose of the backpack and therefore declaring it as a front pack, making its existence obsolete, but in other ways new and novel. Okay. I think I put the backpack to the front pack, and I take my bike and I hoist it up behind me, and I just try to run up the hill the entire way. And holy shit, is that hard. And the thing is, when I'm doing it, I know I look like I stole that bike. It's my bike. I paid for it. I got it from the shop called Bikes for All. So if you're in Vancouver, check it out. Bikes for All. Pretty dope place, especially these days if you're trying to avoid social contact. If you're trying to social distance. But I hoist up my Bikes for All behind me, front pack on the front. I put in that 4 Years Strong, that 2010 album, that Wasting Time, that Eternal Summer, that Tonight We Feel Alive, and I take the chin strap. The chin strap's usually like flapping up in your face, and the front pack like bounces and stuff. And the only way to counteract that is to take the handle strap and turn it into a chin strap. And the only way for me to hold it there is to push my chin forward. So I'm running like this. I'm breathing like that too, and I feel like such a badass when I'm doing that. But real talk, I look like this. That sounds more like I'm sleeping, but yeah, I feel like a total badass, and I think that anybody who observes me doing that is lucky. Because they're seeing... It's like I had someone in my head who was like, why do they think that that's badass? Why are they lucky? Why are they... I don't believe you. I've had a couple cars
gonna blow your mind.
drive up beside me while doing that, because I've kind of turned this into a thing. And they'll just watch me for a bit. Or they'll roll down the window and they're like, yo, you're just working out. And I'll go, yo. They're like, dude, that's dope. Keep going. I'm like, oh, I don't plan on stopping. And then at that point, precisely, I'm listening to the song Tonight We Feel Alive, and the lyric comes up. Will your legs fail you? And then in my head, I'm like, no, my legs will never fail me. And they almost usually do at the same point when I'm doing that one. But I'm getting close. I usually have to take a break at like 4/5 of the way, just because I am running at the start, but that's a lot of weight to carry. It's really heavy on the triceps. It's just really, really tiring. And by the time I get to that 4/5 mark, I'm not running anymore. I'm like power walking, speed walking with all muscles engaged. It's really intense. And I get to the top and I can't breathe. My method with the Savage Hill, if I'm just normally running it, the first one's like your first run, you're out of breath. And then the second run, you taste blood. And then on the third run, you transcend humanity. I guess you transcend flesh, maybe. Because you are just so out of your body that you are just not a human anymore. I had one guy come up to me at the top of the hill, and he was like, at the top of the hill, and he was like, did you just carry your bike all the way up the top? And I was like, I did. He's like, you're my new favorite hero. And I'm like, oh yeah, scoot over, Billy Blazes from Rescue Heroes. Scoot over, Blue's Clues. Scoot over, Tom Holland's Spider-Man, who I really wish I would have auditioned for. This is not sponsored by Heineken, by the way. Also, today I went grocery shopping. It's a different experience, grocery shopping these days. I rocked up to it, and I noticed the parking lot was more empty than usual, which is already like, yep, it's the Corona holidays. Walked in, some guy opens the door, and I'm already feeling like I'm at a fancy hotel, so start feeling like I'm the shit. And I guess everything I do, I'm feeling like I'm the shit these days. This is what I'm noticing. And so I grab myself a buggy, and as I grab it, I look around and I see everybody wearing the latex gloves, and I'm like, ooh, should have got my own latex gloves, because, geez, I am in contact with so many germs. This is like Shrek Swamp.
I should go grocery shopping.
Full of goo. Then the goo is everywhere because Shrek cannonballed into the goop. The goop is everywhere. And anything I touch, I get Shrek goop. So I grab the handle of the shopping cart and I'm thinking, I am in fresh Shrek goop. Do not touch your face. Do not touch your face. Do not touch your face. And I always touch my face. I can't not touch my face. What's the whole thing with that? Why can't you touch your face? Because it's close to your mouth? Or I don't quite get it. Does it go through your skin? In that case, then, well, the gloves make sense then. The gloves definitely make sense. Saw someone wearing goggles at the grocery store. That was, I think you're taking it a little far if you're wearing goggles. But I also feel like I'm not taking it as seriously as I could. And I feel comfortable saying this because I told my mom not to watch this. So I'm just hoping mom's not watching this. I mean, my mom's chill anyways, but she would smack me if she learned that I definitely had a Tinder girl over. I cracked everyone. I had the Tinder girl over, and I'm sorry about that. Just to everyone who would be like, oh my god. And I get it. It was selfish. It was a lapse in focus. And, not thinking about the people around me, not thinking about the damage it could possibly incur. But when you're in the middle of a pandemic, you're anxious, damn, a back scratch is nice. And the other back scratch things. So yeah, grocery store. They closed off the nut aisle. So you can't just... I'm probably the reason why they closed off the nut aisle, because you can scoop the nut. This is right after I'm talking about Tinder. But you can grab a scoop and scoop your own nuts. You can scoop... I'm so immature. You can scoop your own nuts and put them in a bag and then Bob's your uncle. But they've closed that off because germs, which makes sense. But that also means that I can't go past the licorice aisle and just grab myself a handful of licorice. And I am the reason why those are closed. Also, because there's not so many people in the grocery store anymore, you can't just grab an apple and eat it. I miss those days. I miss when the grocery stores were so big and busy that you could just grab an apple and eat it as you walk around. And if someone says, hey, is that our apple? And then you go, you are damn right. And you were very perceptive, knowing what apples you store and who is eating them. And you have found me eating that apple, and I will pay for it because you caught me. But I like to eat a little apple while I'm walking around. Couldn't do it this time. In fact, I couldn't touch any vegetables. You can't touch things, and that makes grocery shopping a little bit different. Because you gotta touch things, and there's a lot of deciding that happens when you're grocery shopping. You don't think about that when you're not grocery shopping. Of course, why would you think about anything grocery shopping wise if you're not shopping? But you gotta grab stuff. And sometimes when you grab stuff, you put it down. And I felt bad every time I had to put something back. It's just sometimes you find a better deal. There are multiple pre-bagged nut areas. There's the baking area where you can touch the baker's nuts. You get the trail mix area where you can touch the hiker's nuts. There's all kinds of places where you can be grabbing nuts. And so sometimes you get a $22 bag of almonds, and you find out that there's 3 aisles over, another bag of almonds for half the price. So, of course, I'm putting the almonds down. And I feel bad because, no, I don't got coronavirus. Quote this guy, because he just said he had coronavirus. He's so cocky, he's going to get coronavirus next. I just keep interrupting myself with my impressions of other people. But I put the coronavirus down. I put the nuts down with my coronavirus hand, which I don't have. I don't have a coronavirus hand. And I feel bad because you're not supposed to... I just touched my face. You're not supposed to touch your face either. Bye, you're not supposed to touch your face. But it just feels weird putting items back. And I did that in the pasta aisle because I noticed that you can only get you can only get 2 cans of pasta. They have item limits, which is fair because those prepper types have really fucked shit up. While I was at the grocery store, I had a really wicked hangnail, which means that the little thing... Do you guys know what hangnail is? It's when the little tabby tab things on your nails come up. And of course you want to bite them or chew them. I don't even think that happened to me. I think I just ripped it off. And it just bled forever. I really hit the jackpot with these ones. Like, really, the lucky ones are the ones you peel off and there's no blood. Thank you. Thank you, every hangnail that I have ever torn off and has not bled. Because this one was like Satan's pool of blood in my middle fucking finger to society. And it just bled everywhere. I even have it. I had to. It acted up again after I made my purchase. And the only way that I could stop the bleeding in a relatively sanitary manner, I was going to put it in my pocket, but instead I used my receipt. You can see right on the screen. You can see there's blood right there. It was really wet and gross. And that receipt's kind of like my Medal of Honor for participating in going to the grocery store to the grocery store today. I was in there for a long time too. In fact, I think I was there until after closing. Because I didn't know that during pandemic times they close at like 8. And a worker went up to me. I guess I'd been unnoticed for a long time. Some worker went up to me and he said, "Hey, we've been closed for 20 minutes. And I go, "Oh shit. Can I still have these?" He's like, "Well, you got to pay for it." And I'm like, "I know." And I just wheeled it up to the front. But I thank the grocery store people because they are doing the hard work. They're doing the really hard work this time of year in the Corona holidays. They are troopers. They have jobs. They're pretty lucky with that, but they're also potentially being exposed to coronavirus every single day. So that's pretty fucking wild. I got myself some Pop-Tarts. That was my sugary snack this time around. And I like that. Pop-Tarts are kind of like food volcanoes. Because they lie dormant for a long time. And then I guess Pop-Tarts are more like lava. Because dormant is just rock. A dormant lava is a rock. Quote me on that one. So you take the dormant lava, and if you apply enough heat, the dormant lava becomes not so sleepy lava. It becomes lava who has woken up and they've had maybe 2 coffees lava. So they're warm, they're full of activity, they're ready to move, they're ready to attack the day, and the lava flows and it's hot. And then as soon as it gets cold again, it becomes rock. And Pop-Tarts are like that because they're like the rock. They're very solid, they're cold, they're dry. But then if you apply heat, it gets hot. It gets hot inside of those Pop-Tarts and it flows out. In fact, today I made some Pop-Tarts and I've never had this happen before, but it seeped out of the Pop-Tart. Is that supposed to happen? Did I just get faulty Pop-Tarts? Should I send them back and vomit them up right now and say, "Hey, guys, you gave me a faulty Pop-Tart. Do you see this?" And then I pull out the plate with all the Pop-Tart juice on it that I microwaved them on. "Do you see this? The juice is supposed to stay inside the tart." And they go, "Oh shit. Yeah. Did you throw it in the toaster?" And that's where they got me because I throw my Pop-Tarts in the microwave. Does that make me a criminal in their eyes? Pop-Tarts, by name, by definition, are put them in the toaster and they pop out. Pop-Tarts. A little lesson for you guys. Little history lesson for you guys. And that's really all that I had about that. I thought I had more to talk about with the Pop-Tarts. That's all right. I do look really stupid when I run, though. I think I put out a real hostile vibe, which is fair. Because when I'm running, and I'm running through that imagery, I could definitely see that going into my body language. It definitely goes in my body language. I probably look like a serial killer when I'm running on the beach because I have just started working on my posture. I watched a video of myself running, and I noticed that my arms would swing side to side, and I was like, "Hey, arms, you're not helping me doing this, cause you're not doing anything by running like this. You could carry a baby like this. Maybe I'd be a really good baby carrier when I'm running." But I thought, like, what if I took my baby swings and made them Matrix swings? Because, like, all the guys in Matrix run like this for some reason. And I only know that because my brother told me that. So I could be totally wrong about that. I could be totally wrong.
Schmechnical schmifficulties. So sorry about that. Schmechnical schmifficulties.
Wow, what a crazy commercial break. How long did that last? I don't know. Maybe the camera died on me. I could be just making things up right now. Honestly, I can just say whatever. You have eaten 2 plums today. You have a bandage wrapped around your arm that you should probably take off and give it some air because it needs some air for the blood to dry. Just like my hangnail needed some time to dry. Well, if the camera died during me talking about my last story, I guess I could just start that again. That's pretty awesome because I wasn't really going anywhere with it. So, the places where I go and run, there are a lot of dog owners. I would say 90% of the people that I see are dog owners. And I know this because they're there with a dog. And that's that's how I know that they're dog owners. And dogs are really empathetic creatures. So, when I go and run, I'm putting out that hostile vibe, killing goblins and shit. And 170-pound Doberman Husky mix sees me, and I'm putting out that hostile vibe, and he can see it because the dog's very empathetic, and he's not very well trained either. He doesn't eat a whole lot of good food. He eats kibble. It makes his teeth blunt. He doesn't like that. He's kind of pissed off, and he gets to go off leash. But he better watch his behavior. I'm just waiting for the day that dog sees me and he just runs at me. And I've had a good track record so far. I've had dogs jump on me just so I can get in on the fun because I guess exercise seems really fun. But I'm waiting for the day where that vicious, like really defensive dog catches me killing goblins in my head and is thinking, damn, that guy isn't killing goblins. He's killing my owner. And they're definitely going to be thinking that, especially if their owner is like short with pointy ears that looks like a goblin. If their owner even looks remotely like a goblin, I'm probably going through some very similar imagery in my head. So bang on 170-pound Doberman Husky mix who doesn't get to eat very good food. Bang the fuck on. But I've gone through this situation in my head and I think I could handle it. Like I haven't gotten into a battle with a dog before, but I think I could handle it. Step 1, take your shirt off. Okay? And that's not a question. It's the answer for the situation that you're in. You take the shirt off and you wrap it around the arm because doggy, he's in attack mode. And there's not a whole lot of smarty going on in attack mode. So they're going to attack the first piece of meat that you present to them. And it better not be your balls. So you get your arm with the shirt around it and you present it to the dog. And they're thinking, ooh, what a tasty sandwich. That guy's arm is a tasty sandwich. Let me get a bite of that salami meatball sub. And so they try and bite your salami meatball sub, and they can't stick their teeth into it too far. Because for one thing, you got the t-shirt wrapped around, and then it can't even go that deep because they eat kibble all the time, and their teeth are blunt as fuck. So then he's like, you're trying to shake him off. You're like, help! I think the first thing after the dog bites me, I would probably do that. I would look to the owner and go, help! And then the dog owner would go, oh, I'm a bad dog owner. I don't know what to do. And he'd go, what's his name? And then they go, oh, well, actually, she's a she. And I'll go, oh, okay, ow! And they're like, yeah, I can see that. And I'm like, oh, please, what's her name so I can ask her to get off the arm? And they go, her name is Kibbles and Bits, and that's all you need to know. And you're like, oh, okay, Kibbles and Bits, get off the arm, please. And Kibbles and Bits goes, Arr? Because Kibbles and Bits heard her own name and realized her humanity. Or canine nature. What would you call a dog's conscience? Cananity. They're Canada. Inside their Canada, they snap into focus and they go, "Oh shit, that's not a piece of meat. That's not even a sandwich. That's a guy's arm with a shirt wrapped around it." And I go, "Hey, 140-pound Doberman Husky mix. Not a problem. You're a dog. That's okay." And it did look like I was going to run towards and kill your owner. And that is when I pull out the brass knuckles with the big long knives, and I'm actually Wolverine, and I get the owner. And that's how you trick a dog. I didn't know where I was going with that the whole time. I didn't know how that was going to end. That's quite exciting. Like, you get to the end of a movie and you realize it's a superhero movie. I'm Wolverine. I've been Wolverine the whole time. How long's that guy been Wolverine? That would actually be dope as shit. Like, you just like watch a movie and at the end, you just realize that the main character is Wolverine. You can come in, Jovy. Oh, unless that's someone stealing the bikes. Hello? Joe? Okay. Am I getting paranoid? Like, I swear to God, I saw Jovy out there. Okay. Well, I'm getting paranoid. You guys ever just like snap into that mindset at nighttime? It takes like one scary thing. You just be going through your life, not afraid of anything, having a great time at night. And then someone says like, Slenderman, or like, wouldn't it be freaky if there were 10 ghosts right now? And then nighttime just gets scary. It takes one thought or one word from a person to just shift night from like a really peaceful time to like, oh my God, the Loch Ness could be around any corner and here. Oh fuck, legit, I got scared editing this and I had to like put on happy music. That's all it takes. And from that point forward, everything serves to freak you the fuck out. We do stuff like that to ourselves, where we just freak ourselves out for no reason. I had a really dumb, like, no reason thing to freak myself out with as a kid. I wasn't even a kid, I was a teenager, which makes sense because it was totally illogical. But I made up this motto that I held in my head. I don't even know where I came up with this, but I just said, this is just a thought I would run through. I'll go, if you wear sunglasses inside, you might not like what you're gonna see. And I thought that just meant if I ever wore sunglasses inside, I would see like goblins. Kids are schizophrenic to an extent and psychopathic. But definitely was freaked out by a lot of shit. Like, I remember I used to imagine there were monsters behind my couch. Constantly. I would always be afraid of things popping up. And I think I felt that way because I was constantly startled by my brother. I remember one time I was in the basement hanging out with him and one of his friends at my dad's house. And he turned the lights off, put on a really scary song, and screamed in my face. Freaky, right? And then, oh my God, he would just startle me in the weirdest ways sometimes too. I remember sitting at the dinner table at that house too. I was sitting at the dinner table, and he just comes up from behind me, peels off his sock, and stuffs it in my mouth. The shit you do for family, right? We make sacrifices for each other. He takes off his sock and puts it in my mouth. He's now left sockless. So that's a big sacrifice for humor. I appreciate that. Anyway, I think that's all for today.
Gonna blow your mind.
head up.